Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. I want to show you what we are doing today. Changing a battery. And I figured most of you guys know how to do it. Maybe some of you don't. But what we're going to do is we're going to change a battery out. This is going to be on a 2016 Ford Edge. You can look up the information at your local Walmart. They sell batteries, or your local corner parts store. You can get a OEM replacement battery if you rich like that. But it's not too terribly hard. Most everything's going to be like a 10 millimeter, and you're just going to have to get to it. Again, eye protection when you do this. You are working with corrosives, so know what you need to have to neutralize, which would be like baking soda and water to neutralize any acid that you may get on you. This is a sealed battery, so it's not going to be that much of a problem, but they do weep or they do weep corrosives around the battery terminal, so that's always a consideration. Just bear that in mind. It shouldn't take too terribly long. Just be careful, because maybe doing it while it's hot, and you can get burned under the hood. Here we go. More to come. Don't forget, before you really get into the video, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us a lot. It helps us pay for batteries. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back. This is a 2016 Ford Edge 2-point something 4-cylinder turbo, and a small SUV, and it runs great, does good, around 100,000 miles on it, and we've really enjoyed it. But you can see back there, the battery is really hard to get to, and way back there, and I guess part of it is my fault. I neglected that terminal and ended up having a loose connection, so we're going to do a little bit of cleanup on it as well. We are going to take off the battery terminal. There's also a anti-theft block that was right there that I removed, and that just keeps it from shifting around and makes it harder for someone to take it out. That's going to be a 1/4 inch is what I use for that. These right here to disconnect the battery terminals are going to be 10 millimeter, and I'm going to use a ratcheting box end to help me with that. We'll be able to get it out here to a point, and then we're going to take the negative side off. This is a positive side, this is a negative side. Once we get everything out, it is supposed to, the new one is supposed to fit in. We're going to set it down and size it up to make sure we don't waste too much time. One of the reasons that this battery is a sealed battery is because you almost have to turn it in and kind of shoehorn it into place. It's going to be kind of awkward, and I am glad for that it is a sealed battery. In some instances, you might have to take your air box off, and we may have to do that. We'll see. More to come. Okay, guys, now we're back, and you can see that is the negative battery terminal that was so bad. This is the original battery that was in it when we bought the vehicle. We bought it used. It had 30,000 miles on it, I believe, and then we've had it for 7 years, and it's got a little over 100,000 miles. I'm going to bet you this is the original battery, because it is a Ford battery. We're going back with an Everstart. This is a Walmart brand. Make sure you have your cranking amps correct. 760 cranking amps. Make sure that the battery terminals are on the correct side. Make sure that the size, length, width, and height, especially on these new ones, because they are so tight. And again, you can see one of the things: wear old clothes when you're doing this. Use paper towels because you can throw them away once they get covered with acid. It's not a bad idea if you have a leather apron, like a welding apron, something like that. Lay it over the side to protect the paint, because that acid will eat this paint. It will etch it. and then clean out your battery terminal, your battery tray. Do all that just to have good preventive maintenance. Clean your air box too, Darren. Anyway, we're gonna get this thing back up. You can see, we've got this kind of cleaned up. Got a little bit more to do, but we're gonna get this thing cleaned up. That way we'll have good connection, won't have this problem anymore. Probably going to apply a really nice conductive grease, a good lubricant. Back in the day, we used to use bacon grease. Sure enough, when I was a lot younger. And to do that, this is baking soda and water. Mix it up and use a toothbrush. Again, wear safety glasses with this, and syringe just to kind of drip it on there. One other thing you can also use, you can use soft drinks. Coca-Cola is one of the best things, and about honest to goodness, in my opinion, Coca-Cola, the only use for Coca-Cola is to clean your battery terminals. I don't drink any soft drinks at all. Nothing carbonated. So, in a pinch, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi will work. Now, we're gonna get this thing cleaned up, put back together. All right, guys, now we're back. One thing I wanna talk to you about. Some people say that you can disconnect the battery while it's running, and that way you can check to see if it is a battery or an alternator. Well, yes and no. Today's batteries use so much electricity for accessories that that's not quite true. I've had mechanics tell me yes still, and I've had them tell me no, and I have done it myself, and sometimes they would run, sometimes they would not when I took the battery out. So that's really not the best way. Best way to do it is to conduct a load test on it. You can buy one of the tools. They're 60, 70 bucks. It puts a load on it as you would in a cranking starting application. Or you can take it to one of your local auto parts places, and they'll usually conduct a load test for free. And inside the vehicle or in their building. So, taking these covers off, and I'm gonna throw this guy in. All right, guys, we are back on, and I'll brush that acid that's accumulated right there off with a little bit of baking soda and water. I just don't want that on the frame. And we are put back together. I used a little bit of lubricant, some spray lube, to make sure everything stays nice and greased. We're gonna put this cover back on, and that's just to prevent any accidental bumps when you're wrenching under the hood. And we are back together and up and running. I'm going to clean this air box out, and I'll put it back on. Show you the filter. This is the motor filter. There's an air cabin filter also, completely separate, and that's for just for in air inside the cabin. But we're going to get everything cleaned up, and that is it.